Hi there. Good morning. If you're watching this in the morning, it's morning for me right now. And if it's Monday, happy Monday. And if it's any other day of the week, well, I hope you're having a good day. I've been working away here. I ordered some wooden Victorian reprint decorations on Amazon, actually to hang on my tree this year. And they're just so cute. I thought they were very reasonable. There was 45 in the bag. They each have a tiny little hole, and they came with jute. Of course, you know me. I'm not going to use jute. I've got gold. And the back was just they're wood. The back was plain wood. I wish I had saved one so you could see, but I didn't want plain wood in case they got turned around on my tree. So I painted the backs a brick red, and then what I'm doing is I'm using my gold ink pad, and I've been going around the edges so that in case they get turned around, they will still sort of blend into the tree. We just have a very little tree. I think it's 3.5 feet tall. And it's flocked, and it's very, very pretty. I like a Christmas tree with warm white lights, so I can't not have a tree at Christmas, even if it's tiny. I need to have a little tree, and definitely a few little decorations. But I certainly don't do what I used to do. My Dan actually used to call me Martha Stewart. What I used to do when we were in the big house. Oh my goodness, I used to. The garlands that went up and down the stairs. One year, one of the grandchildren was having a fundraiser and selling poinsettias, and I think there were 16 stairs in that house. It was a winding staircase, so I bought a poinsettia for every single stair going up. It really looked pretty, but boy, I didn't like watering all those poinsettias. Next time, you know what? Dollar Tree poinsettias would do the same thing and be less of a Christmas hassle. But I won't do that anymore. Anyhow, I'm already off topic. So I got some. I wonder if I can get that off. I got some paint on Santa's beard. So let's see. Hold on. Let's see if we can get you. It's just acrylic paint. Maybe it'll come off. It's coming off. Yay! So I ordered these just as a change. My tiny tree, I find, has a difficult time holding the weight of my glass ornaments. I have quite a collection of the old world German glass ornaments and vintage Mercury glass ornaments. And but this tiny tree has a hard time holding them safely, and if little ones visit, me holding my breath, because I want them to be safe, and I want my decorations to be safe. And I've slowly been giving the decorations to the decorations that were mine, because we blended families. I wanted to keep my side of the family's decorations for my children, Dan's side for his children, because of the memories involved. So I've been slowly each year giving them a decoration off of our tree, their tree growing up, and that way minimizing what we've got in the house. And I just thought this year, using these wooden ones, and they're so pretty. first of all, they're very light, and they're so cute. And then, of course, my mind gets going. Wouldn't that be cute on the cover of a journal? So I may have to borrow a few because it came in a package of 45. If you're interested, I got them on Amazon, and if you're interested, let me know down below in the comments, and I'll send you the link for these sweet little decorations. For 45 of them, I think in Canadian dollars, it was $17, which that's less than 50 cents each. So I think that's a great deal. So I've slowly been working on that yesterday after posting the flip through of Mrs. Cratchit's prayer journal, and thank you for all the kind comments that everyone left on Mrs. Cratchit's journal. It's just always, that gets me in the Christmas spirit when I start doing my Dickens Christmas journals. It just, I honestly, who knows what, but my heart just goes back to that time. The message that he had in that short story, seriously, you can read it in an evening. I recommend, if you're at your art desk, find a online version of it being read on YouTube and just listen to it while you're working. He's got quite a sense of humor, Dickens does. Like, I love when he talks about the ironmongery of why it's dead as a doornail and it should be dead as a coffin nail. But far be it for him to, the wisdom is in the ages and all that. He's got quite a sense of humor, but he also initially angered a lot of the wealthier people in Victorian England because he spoke up about the poverty and the disparity between the very rich, the very comfortable, and the poverty-stricken, and how inappropriate it was, and how there had to be better answers than prisons and workhouses and generosity one day out of the year. The message, it's just such a huge, important message in such a little story. And it gets to me every single time. And as much as I love all the versions of the movies, I really, really do. I love George C. Scott's version of it. I love the Disney version that Jim Carrey did. The artwork in that version of A Christmas Carol, and you might think, oh, it's a cartoon. The artwork is spectacular. You feel like you're seeing old London. Part of it's hard for me to take because snow in London at Christmas is like a 1 in a million thing. But they want the rest of the world to feel Christmassy, and the world for some reason thinks of snow at Christmas when actually it's not very much of the world gets snow at Christmas, and fewer of us are getting it. But far be it from me to attempt to change things. So, A Christmas Carol with snow in it. If it makes you feel Christmassier, then let's do it. Anyhow, I must admit my favorite version is A Muppet Christmas Carol. It gets me every time. I honestly cry. And that Michael Caine, an actor of the acclaim of Michael Caine, would agree to work with puppets and do it so well, and how Bob Cratchit can be a frog, and the little rat, Rizzo the rat, and it's like penguins in it. It's marvelous. And the music, it's in my playlist. My Christmas playlist has all the Muppet Christmas Carol music. I love it, and I watch it several times every Christmas. I have to watch a Muppet Christmas Carol. Anyhow, we're 10 minutes into it, and I'm already going on and on about it. But if you get a chance and Christmas Carol is not your thing, at least try the Muppet one. It's still got the message behind it, and Michael Caine does a marvelous job in it. He takes it so seriously. It was not silly for him to convey the message that Dickens wanted conveyed, even with puppets. So anyhow, these Victorian ornaments, initially purchased to put on my tree so that they're lighter, they're not breakable, and at least for this year, I think that's what I'll do. But you may see them showing up on the covers of some books. And speaking of some books, it's time to move on to another book, because Mrs. Cratchit is done, and tomorrow I will be sending her off to her new home. And thank you to the person who said, I need to adopt Mrs. Cratchit. So I feel so good in my heart. She's off to a wonderful home, and she's got quite a journey ahead of her. And so I've just been working on these and painted them red. I get out my gold ink pad, which I love. I can't remember where I got it from. I think I got it either at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. But like super inexpensive, like $2.97. I have to remember to stop moving it around when I'm inking the edges. So this gold ink pad is my happy find of the season. I gotta tell you, happy crafty find. And I apologize if that my camera is jiggling. But you know me, I'm a vigorous inker. So that's all I've been doing. So in the event that it gets turned around on the tree, it'll still sparkle with the lights. And then I'll use some gold thread to hang them. And I'm looking forward to it. So like I said, I'm not kidding you when I say there's 45 of them. I've got a lot of inking ahead of me. I'm going to do a few at a time when I need a break from the books I'm working on. And so with the books that I'm working on, I guess I should let you know what the next one will be. So the next one, I'm going to call it A Little Book of Christmas. And it's definitely little. It's just a tiny little book, and it's from 1876. So this is an old book. And we're going to turn this into a Christmas book, because it's it looks a little sad. It looks like they're stories that were intended for children. Instructions of the infant mind. The earliest religious instructions the infant mind is capable of receiving. Well, I've read through a bit of it, and these instructions would terrify my infant mind, let me tell you. So I think we're going to make it a little happier. I feel like doing a happy book, a happy Christmas book. Santa will definitely be in this one, in various versions of St. Nicholas or Belsnickles. Those are my favorite Santas, are the Belsnickles. I love when they just look like they're quietly going about their business. Now this book, to show you how little it is, it looks like it's 3 3/4 by 5 5/8. but it's quite thick. It's an inch thick. So I was tempted. I really wanted to do a little soft-spined book, but when my heart got set on this book, we'll be covering this up. I knew that I couldn't cover up that spine, so it'll have to be another little book that gets a soft spine. But we're still going to have some fun with it and maybe change things up a bit with this one. So we need to, again, please fear not. I looked it up to see if it's worth money, because trust me, you know what? Even beyond not wanting to harm a precious book, if it's worth money as it is like this, I'd be happy to sell it for whatever the going price is. Sometimes I'm sure some of you go onto eBay and go, oh, she's cutting up that book and look at it, it's selling for $134. They're asking that. That book may sit there for 5 years at $134. Just because they're asking that doesn't mean that's what it's worth or what it will get. So keep that in the back of your mind if you're ever worried about what I'm doing. Whereas when I change this into a Christmas book, someone's going to write their little Christmas quotes or their little, remember the year that, you know, Ashley did this and we all laughed our heads off, or on this day we went to a caroling service and it was such a nice evening and we sang and had hot chocolate. That's what I think of, and personally I think that's worth $100 and whatever that eBay might have asked for this book intact. So let's get to work, because you know the first thing we have to do, and it's the scariest thing, is taking the text block out. So let me find it. I've got to find this baby. And I like to start at the back when I can remember. It looks like it's going to come apart quite easily, which doesn't surprise me for 1876. I'm going to need to reinforce the spine. It's not bad for 1776. Even the hinges, when I hold them up to the window, I can't see through them. So that's quite impressive. The mull gives away quite easily, which is nice. Thank you, mull. But their bands that they used to suspend, because it's hidden hollow back spine, those bands are still quite strong. There's 2 bands. I don't know if you can see them. I'll show you. You can see them. So at least it's nice to know you can see where the bands are and when to expect that you feel like you've hit a wall. And again, just use the tippy tip of your knife so that you don't go through that beautiful spine. And if you do, do not despair, because there are things we can do that sometimes even make it better. So there we go. And did we get through it? We got through it okay. I like to pull this off because we'll be putting pretty paper in there. Oh boy. This publisher used good glue. There we go. Very good. Now I'm going to have some work to do this afternoon off camera, getting this paper lifted from the edges. But I'll put a movie on the TV and start scraping away. So see what I mean? How start at the back, then the front is easier because you can pull these apart and you can literally see, you can see the light through it, and you can make sure, hopefully, there we go. We've got one of those. Oh, that one was easier. One of the bands. There's that second band. I'm sorry if you can't see. I've got to do this upright in order to ensure that it's safe. I'll try my best to put some of these pages back into the book. But as I said, even though apparently this book was written for the infantile mind, there once was an era in time where they believed that frightening children into good behavior was the way to do it. Thank goodness we have learned differently. That children do not need to be terrified into behaving. Oh, thank goodness. Not going to worry about that too much. We'll do a hidden hollow back spine. There's a bit of pencil mark there. I love that. Like, that's 1876 pencil. Ah, I love that. That's very good. I hold it up to the light. I can see a little bit of light through there and a little bit right there, but not bad for 1876. You do the math. I can't math that. It's too early in the morning for me to math 2023, almost 2024 to 1876. I love that. Piccadilly. 1876. So we will find a way to redo at least that. And see what we can do about, because even the artwork isn't very pleasant. And I know the intentions are good behind it. It's, there's Joseph and his brethren, and but even that story, although triumphant ending, it's not nice. Joseph before the Pharaoh, that sort of thing. Joseph's brethren bring out the coat of many colors to Jacob. Oh, that's when they pulled a fast one on him. So, well, Abraham and the three angels. Wow. Adam and Eve mourning over Abel. Oh dear. See, this is apparently these are ready for children. Ah! I'll see what I can do. This is book 1, so I believe this is all Old Testament. So maybe I'll be able to find some portions that have premonitions of the coming of the Messiah. I'm not sure. Oh, look at the questions, so you can test the children afterwards. The infantile minds. Ah! All right, you know what? That I've got to not think about that, because that doesn't give me happy Christmas feelings, and I want happy Christmas feelings. So you might be thinking, all right, what are you going to do with this? Well, I have tried several times. First of all, let's come down a bit. I've tried several times. There we go. I've tried several times to deal with these white spill marks, and I'm not sure what they are. And I've used everything that they suggest you try. And they are there for the haul, the long haul. Those stains said, no, no, we're from 1876 and we're staying. So I don't want them white. So I'm going to start with a light colored ink. I would rather them be brown. If they had to be any color, I would rather brown. So we're going to start and try with coffee colored ink. This is a very light, creamy, light brown. And I'm just going to go lightly over them and see if we can at least make it look brown so that it looks like an antique lunch. And you know I don't mind antique lunches on a book. Maybe it's an infantile lunch. Nope, not enjoying that. I think we're going to switch over to vintage photo. This is an old one, so it's not very juicy, which is what I want. When I'm nervous about inking something important, such as the front cover of a book, I would rather use an old pad that's not very juicy. And distress ink is designed to be slightly transparent. So I'm just going to go over all the little marks, and I may end up needing to ink the entire cover and give it a slightly brown tinge to it, which is fine with me because the green will still show through. Yes, I like that. I like that better than the white. And I am going to go over the whole book. I didn't show you another part of the reason I love this book. Look at the beveled edges. I don't know if you can see that those edges are beveled. It's just marvelous. So I'm not afraid anymore with the vintage photo. So I'm going to go in with a larger brush. And we're just going to do the entire cover. And then I'll be sealing the cover so that this will actually end up being giving it a really nice warm dark green earthy color to it, and it's going to look really, really nice. These little cracks and crevices, they'll take the brown really nice as well. I'll be covering these up with various things. I will be covering up the title. We'll find ways. And I'll be covering, definitely that will be easy to cover. I'm going to find a beautiful little picture and get out my new to me, secondhand Sizzix. And, oh, hold on. Quit licking. Sorry. Talking to the little tenant under the table there. That's her favorite little cave. So see what I mean? I hope it's coming through with my phone. This distress ink is not making this book brown, but it's warming up the green that it is, and any white that's showing through, yes, that's making it brown. And it certainly has covered up and camouflaged the white stain that's on it and made it look like an 1876 tea stain. I'm assuming it's tea. If it's British, who knows? Although they say nowadays coffee is just as popular as tea, I have heard. Any of you over there, if you watch, you can let me know. But from what I've heard, Coffee and tea go arm in arm in popularity over there now for enjoyable hot drinks. I was surprised. Here we go off topic. Are you shocked? When we visited Ireland and I forget where we were. It wasn't the Guinness Storehouse. I love Guinness beer. I can't drink it anymore because of my PBC, but Guinness has come out with a 0 and it tastes delicious. So anyone who likes Guinness but doesn't want any alcohol, try the Guinness 0. Honest to goodness, tastes like a Guinness. I like it because it tastes like burnt coffee. Anyhow, I forget where we were, and our tour guide said, "So, what do you think is the most popular beer in Ireland?" And hands were going up in our group, in our tour. And of course, the first one, someone said, "Guinness." And he said, "It's very popular." "No," he said, "the tourists always want a Guinness." And then someone else said Murphy's, and there were a few, Kilkenny and that sort of thing. And the most popular beer in Ireland, served icy cold. They drink their beer cold over there, much people's, "Oh, it's warm." No, not anymore. They like cold beer. Bud Light. So there you go. There's a bit of interesting, what's the word I'm looking for? Trivia for you. Most popular beer in Ireland. Bud Light. So, correct me if I'm wrong, please, anyone. I'm just a humble little Canadian who happened to go to Ireland for a couple of weeks. But wow, I felt like I had returned home when I went there. All right, we are at 32 minutes. So, we at least got into it. And the next time we get together, our little book of Christmas, because I wasn't sure what else to call it, because it's almost going to be a Christmas all sorts book. Our little book of Christmas will be further along because I'm going to get to work on it today. But I'll catch you up and tell you what I've done, as I always do. Thanks for joining me. And if you're still here, you know the routine. Help me buy my glue. Click like if you're new and you want to follow along and see how I change this book into and make it look, give it the honor an 1876 book deserves. So I purposefully make them look old. Hit subscribe and make sure you click on the bell so that you'll get all the notices of when I post a video. And of course, say hi down below and I'll say hi back at you. Take care. Have a great rest of your day and we'll get together soon. Bye.